Hey YouTube, it's Rachy. This video is going to be a bunch of different topics. Good hair, this recent debate about if you're a YouTuber or a blogger with a looser texture hair pattern or curl pattern, you're more popular, and it's going to be based on that. So I may ramble a bit because it's all coming off the top of my head, but I hope you get the gist of what I'm about to say. So let's start with good hair. Good hair has been around for years, that term good hair. It's not something that somebody just made up or, you know, just become popular. It goes way back to slavery and before slavery and, you know, all of that. People assume that if you have a looser texture hair or curl pattern, that your hair is automatically good hair. Meaning that it's easier to manage, you don't have any problems, it blows in the wind a certain way, it drops a certain way, it grows a certain length. There's all these assumptions and conclusions that people come up, you know, up with. And people always say to me, you have that good hair, you have that Indian type hair, you have them edges, you have all this rubbish. I have good hair, right? And I've heard this since little. It's nothing new to me. I've been natural all my life, so I've always heard this. And at first I didn't understand it, because obviously when you're younger you don't know what it means, and as you grow up you understand. And when you do understand, you realise, what's their issue? Because why are you so infatuated with my hair being good hair? And why are you reflecting your negative notions of your hair onto me? Because that's how I see it. When somebody says, I wish I had your hair, or I'm jealous of your hair, or you have good hair, it's a reflection of how they feel about their hair. There's a way to compliment people, and people don't understand how to compliment people when it comes to hair. All you have to say is, I like your hair, or I think your hair looks good. That's all you have to say. You don't need to say, I like your hair, but I wish my hair looked like yours, or I wish I had hairs like yours, your hair is so pretty. Like, why is there an addition onto it? Or your hair is so nice, you must be mixed. Or your hair is really pretty, you can't be black. Like, why is there always a negative added onto it? Why can't it just be, I like your hair? Why does it have to be this addition of da 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 da? It's annoying. And majority of the time, it comes from black women. I get it. I'm talking about my experience. I have more white women or European or Asian women complimenting my hair than any black people I have come across. That is a fact in my life. I will be walking down the road and a random white woman will come up to me and say, I love your hair, I wish my hair did what your hair does. Or your hair is so big and so full, it's amazing. I get it all the time. I get random white people coming up to me wanting to put their hands in my hair, fluff it up without even asking. Like, it happens all the time. When it comes to black people now, it's, well, what are you mixed with? Why does your hair look like that? You can't be black. You have to be, you know, mixed race. Are you East African? All these questions. All these questions. And it's like, what is your problem? Like, really and truly, what is your problem? Even if I am mixed, or even if I am East African, or I, you know, all these things you assume I am, what difference does it make to your life? How does it benefit you? How does me being mixed or East African benefit you? Do you have a checklist every day that you go through that, you know, how does it benefit your life? How is it going to make your life any better than it was 5 minutes ago? It doesn't. And I can't understand what the big issue is. People need to understand that black comes in so many different shades, textures, complexions, looks, features, shapes, everything. There is not one black. There is not one. And it kind of goes back to that Pharrell album cover, the Girl album cover, and people were just like, where's the black woman on the cover? Why are you so concerned with there being a black woman on the cover? Does it have to be a black woman on the cover? I didn't see no Asian dark-skinned woman on the cover. I didn't see nothing like that. Why is it such a gripe? Is Pharrell now the poster child for black people? Like, why are you so angry? Like, and then he says that there is a lady on there that who is black. How stupid do you feel? Like, what is the issue? Why do you feel like, and I keep saying you as if I'm talking to one person, but I'm just talking generally. Why is there this issue of I must know how black you are, or you have to prove to me how black you are. And I did a video on here, I think it was last year or the year before, about am I black enough, and a lot of people didn't like what I had to say, and I still stand by what I had to say because it was my experience, it's based on my experience, so you can't tell me my experience is wrong if I've lived it. And a lot of people were saying, you know, you're being stereotypical, you're being negative about black people, da 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 da. A lot of my situations and life experiences with black people have been negative, simple as that. When it comes to business, when it comes to life experiences, a lot of the negative experiences I've had in my life have been associated with black people. It's as simple as that. And when it comes to hair, like I said, it's always a question, it's always a debate. It's never just, it is what it is. It's never just, she is who she is. It has to be this whole inquisitive question and answers situation. And I was on my stall, my market stall the other day, and this woman who was like 50 plus, if you follow us on Instagram you already know this, she came to my stall and she's looking at the jewellery and stuff, and then she said to me, oh, are you Ethiopian? And I said, no. I get asked that a lot because I do. And she said, oh, okay, okay. So then she proceeded to walk round the back of my stall, come right up to me, next to me, peer over me and look into my hair, into my head, and then say, you've got a lot of hair. You sure you're black? Am I sure I'm black? I'm sorry, what? Am I sure I'm black? Are you sure you're human? Like, what kind of question is that to ask? And I just said yes, and I didn't say nothing else because I've been taught to respect my elders. But let me tell you something. If she was in her 20s or 30s, she would have heard it from me, because I don't understand the ignorance. And in a way I can't blame her, because she's from a generation, it's not an excuse and it's not a reason, but she's from a generation that didn't know better, and some of that generation will still never know better because they're stuck in their ways, and you have to kind of accept that from certain people. But at the same time, it's like, this is not the first time that it's happened. It happens to me all the time. I remember I was going to my market store one time, I was crossing the road and this woman was walking across the road. Imagine, we were walking across Camden, busy high road. This woman's walking, crossing, and she said to me, is that all your hair? And she's passed me, is that all your hair? I said yes. And she goes, why are you lying for? And carried on walking. And I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm lying. Apparently I'm lying. Oh, okay, I'm a liar now. Why are you so angry about your hair that you have to reflect it on me? I don't understand this. It's okay to be okay. Like, there's no need for this hostility. Be comfortable in who you are. And I understand there's not a lot of positive images of black women. I understand that there's hurt there, and I understand that. I get it. But don't reflect your rubbish on me. Don't bring it to me, because I didn't ask for it and I don't want it. Because the way I'm feeling these days with this whole natural hair world, I want to say something that I regret very soon, because the way that people are trying to push my buttons recently, it's going to happen soon, and I keep it 100%. So you don't want to hear what comes up my mouth certain times when you push me to that edge, because I'm a very calm person. But when I'm passionate about something, it comes across angry at times, and I'm not angry, I'm just passionate. And it frustrates me sometimes, the ignorance and the levels that people live at, that they don't understand things and they want to question my blackness, but they obviously don't understand what black is. That frustrates me. So when it comes to things like that, I get so annoyed, and this whole good hair thing is just so stupid, because people assume that if you have a certain texture of hair, you can't be black. And then if you're going to have a mixed race child, the hair's automatically going to look like this, even though mixed race is not just black and white, it can be mixed with any two races. You know, that's still mind-baffling to some people, because, you know, common sense is not common. And then you have people who, you know, they look on YouTube, they look on Instagram, they look on Twitter, they look on Facebook, they see people with these hair lengths that are like down to their waist, thinking that because they've recently gone natural, in 4 years time it's going to happen for them. When they get 3 years into the journey, it doesn't happen. They're still at shoulder length, and they can't understand why. Not everybody's hair is going to grow down to their waist. It's not happening for everybody. You have a gene and DNA makeup that allows your hair to only do so much. And the people that do have this waist length hair in 4 years or 3 years, their hair would have been like that from birth to now if they looked after it from birth till now. But because of the journey they had previously in their hair journey, that's why their hair has never reached that length, because now they're looking after it. Anybody is capable of having, you know, a good head of hair, meaning, you know, what your hair is capable of doing if you look after it. A lot of people are lazy, they don't want to put the time and effort in. It's the same thing with your skin. If you don't look after your skin, you'll get, you know, blotches and blemishes and whatever. It's the same thing with your hair. And this whole thing of, I wish my hair looked like hers, or I wish my hair did that, it doesn't do that. Get over it, move on, and love and learn and do what your hair does. Embrace what your hair does. My hair don't do twist outs. I see pictures of twist outs, I'm like, that definition is crazy, that looks amazing. My hair don't do it. I'm over it. I ain't trying it again. My hair don't do it. Tried so many times, it's failed. Ain't going back there, because my hair don't do it. It just does not do twist outs. I've learned to deal with that. Moving on. My hair likes braid outs. I'll do a braid out then. Simple as that. Keep it moving. Why is everybody set on this whole, I wish I could do what your hair does? It don't do that. Move on. Keep it moving. Simple as that. Stop wishing and dreaming things that are not going to happen. Be real and get real with it. It ain't happening for you. It's time to move on and do what your hair does. Your hair could do things that other people's hair can possibly not do. That is what your hair does, and that's what makes your hair special. Embrace that, learn that, and move on with it. Stop trying to obtain what is not possible to obtain, because you're going to forever be in this space of disappointment, and you're going to forever be in this bubble of trying things out, doing all these things that are going to actually eventually mash up and damage your hair, and then you're going to be back at square one. So rather than trying to do everything and anything that you're seeing on social media, because social media, as beneficial as it is, it's quite, you know, annoying, because there's so many avenues of inspiration that people are just, you know, baffled all these style options and stuff. They want to try everything, and then when it doesn't work, they get annoyed. People have asked me, like, why don't you do more styles with your hair? All the styles that you see now that people are doing, these roll and tucks, and I did that in school. I did all of that in school. If people, you know, if you were to ask anybody that went to secondary school, they would tell you Rachel had the most craziest hairstyles in school. I did all that. I don't need to do that right now. I don't have time to do that no more. It used to take me like an hour before I went to school to do all that. I don't have time to do that no more. So I keep it simple. I keep it, you know, cute and simple, and what works for me right now works. I don't have time to be rolling, pinning and tucking and braiding. I did that. Been there, done that. Ain't doing it again. So that's why I don't do these styles that you're now recently seeing that are new to a lot of people but are old to me, because I've done them. So I don't feed into that whole hype of let's try, you know, a roll and tuck and a braid and this and I've done that. I don't need to do that again. I don't need to do things to fit into this natural world, because what's the point? I'm an individual. I'm not trying to follow the sheep of the herd. So that's my kind of gripe on that. And then going on to this new topic that everyone's discussing about YouTubers that have a looser texture and whether they're more popular than people that have a tight or a kinkier texture. It comes simple down to this. Like it's kind of based on what I just said. People are desiring a hair texture that is not theirs. And it's not 100% their fault. It comes down to the whole notion of what good hair is, what better hair looks like, what this kind of dream hair is. And this is why people that do have that hair that people dream of having become more popular, because people are really interested in what that hair does and wish that their hair did the same. So they will go and watch these channels and wish that their hair did these things, knowing full well it can't, but still feel like it can. And it's sad because it's not going to happen. And at the same time, why not go to a channel that reflects your hair type? Why would you go and look at someone else's and wish your hair did that? It's just stupid. I don't watch a lot of channels that have a kinkier texture hair because it's irrelevant to me, in the sense of I don't watch tutorials and stuff. But when it comes to like information videos or topic videos and a person has a kinkier texture, I watch it because that's based on their personality and their content. It's got nothing to do with their hair. And product reviews and stuff I will watch if I want to know about that product, hence why it's a product review. But I don't really like look for channels for hair tutorials with people that have hair that's not like mine. Only will I do that if maybe, you know, I'm trying something new, like a new technique, and I want to see how someone else maybe doing that technique. For instance, when I decided to start finger detangling, I started watching a lot of channels of how people finger detangle, and I did watch people with different texture hairs and how hair textures and how they did that, and it helped me to, you know, do what I need to do. But I would never go and watch someone do a braid out who has different textures to me, because it's a bit pointless. It doesn't make any sense to me, because the way my hair holds a braid is not the same way that their hair holds a braid. And people with a kinky texture can do more things with their hair than somebody with a looser texture, and I don't think a lot of people understand that. When you have a kinkier texture, your hair can hold definition better than what my hair can hold. My hair will hold definition for like 2 days. Your hair can hold definition for like 2 weeks. It's different. Your hair can do so much more than what my texture can do, and there's this perception that kinky hair can do nothing when it can actually do everything. It's just people don't learn that it can do everything. They think that if your hair is looser, it's easier. It's absolutely not easier. Everybody has their reasons and their problems, and when it comes to their hair and things that don't work for them, but it's all about learning and understanding what your hair does. It's not about wishing that, you know, it took long, you know, it took shorter to detangle. There are ways that would take shorter to detangle if you learn different methods or learn different ways of doing it. It's all about teaching and educating yourself. It's not about wishing that, you know, that person that takes, you know, 5 minutes to tangle, that your hair did that. Your hair can take 5 minutes to tangle if you learn a different method, maybe. You know, there's different options. So I know that was a whole lot of information. Like, it was a whole lot of information, but that's my kind of thoughts on the good hair situation, this whole compliment from black women and this negative vibe that I'm getting, and, you know, wishing that your hair did something that it doesn't do, and this whole thing of, you know, watching YouTubers. And to me, YouTube is just an avenue of sharing information. We're not on here to become famous. We're not on here to become popular. We don't want we're not looking to like do all these things that I think a lot of YouTubers set out to do. We don't have that goal. And if you're doing it for likes or for views, then so be it, but that's not our thing. We're just doing it to connect with different people that may not see an avenue for people that, you know, they can relate to in the UK, or they can connect with in the UK and stuff like that. That's the main reason we started this channel. It's never been to become popular or famous. So I think everybody has their reason. Everybody has, you know, why they do what they do. But that is my 2 pence on this whole thing. I'm sorry that it felt like it was a lot of information to take in, and it may sound like I'm shouting at you, but I'm not shouting at you. I'm shouting at them. So I hope that you understand what I said and what I meant, and it's all based on my personal opinion and my personal experience. And if you don't feel that way, that's why we have debate and discussions, and this is a chance to talk and say how you feel. So yeah, that is my view on it. Make sure you are following us on Instagram, Twitter and Facebook. We do daily posts on Instagram. We're kind of addicted to Instagram, so if you do have Instagram and you're not following us, follow us, because that's the way you can keep up with us more so than YouTube or you know, Tumblr or stuff like that. Instagram is our main thing at the moment, and we're trying to make everything equal, but you know, you've got to kind of follow what's hot at the moment when it comes to social media. That's what we're doing. But yeah, I hope you have a good day, evening, morning, whenever you decide to watch this video. And yeah, I'm gonna go now. So until next time, YouTube, bye.